Hi guys, come with us to our wedding tasting. So we're actually having a 2-day wedding event. The first day is a Hindu event. This tasting is for the second day, during which we'll have the sit-down meal for the reception. So we're off to the venue, which isn't far from where we live, but it's the winter time, which makes the drive a little less pleasant. I'm not sure what's going on, but even the last time when we came to the venue, there was like a door alarm that went off, and the same thing was happening today. So I think we have to get that checked out. Once we walked in, we had our own little seating area, which was very cute. So this tasting was happening with a lot of other couples, and I think it was couples at different venues across the city that are all managed by the same group. Lucky for us, it was happening at the venue that we booked, so we were able to walk around and remember why we chose this place. So it was kind of like a buffet style. Everything was presented in the way that it would be displayed on the day of the wedding, but we would be able to taste everything buffet style today so that we can figure out what we like, what we don't like. And one part that I really appreciated about this day was this hefty package that they gave us with a lot of the FAQs leading up to the wedding. We booked our venue very far in advance, so we haven't been able to discuss with the coordinator until this week onwards. And so a lot of the questions that have been in my mind were answered on that document, which was great. Coming into this tasting, we already had an idea of what mains we would probably be leaning towards. We knew we wanted to do one kind of steak for sure, and then have a non-beef option for those that don't eat beef. So it was really down to chicken or fish. The chicken was super dry, so we opted for fish. There was sea bass and salmon. Salmon ended up being the nicer option in this case because, again, sea bass was slightly overcooked, and I felt like it wasn't as forgiving of a fish as the salmon, should that one be slightly overcooked. This gentleman was walking around giving us the options for what wines would be open at the table. There was one white and one red, and there was, I think, an option from Italy and an option from Argentina. I think we chose one of each. When it came to the appetizers, one cold and one hot, and there was quite the selection, so we really took our time with this, really put ourselves in the shoes of our guests. We knew that kind of the crudo or the raw fish wasn't going to be a popular option with most. We didn't want to do beef again for the appetizers either because we knew that beef was going to be a main for many people. We also weren't too fond of doing anything seafood for the appetizers as well, again because we had fish for the mains. Also, because we were having the cocktail hour right before the reception, during which there would be a variety of different things that should include crudo, the seafood, some more beef options for those that don't pick that for the main or just want that extra bit. So we felt like we didn't need to double down on that for the appetizers. So we are at the tasting for our wedding, the reception sit-down meal. We've tried some cold and hot apps so far. Pretty good. There's some that are not that great, but overall, like, there are some really great selections, which I'm really happy about. I was a little bit worried about our options, but we're good. We've been able to pick our cold app so far. We're torn for our hot one. So we're going to try it again and decide. And then we're going to do the main courses, desserts, and this is also exciting. What we had come to realize on our like third or fourth time back at the food section was that for the hot apps, there was all of the pasta selections. We thought those were for the vegan/vegetarian options that were going to be served, but turns out they're also appetizer options. So we had to redo the tasting and we went with the mushroom pasta. This is our steak and steak sauce options. We went for the rib steak. We were considering a different one, but I think the rib steak was probably going to be the most popular one, and it filled the plate a lot nicer. Finally, we were able to see what the seating was going to look like, what options we had for the cushions for the chairs. We obviously went with these transparent acrylic ones, but we weren't sure if we were going to do white, but I think white was really the best option that there was. They have some centerpiece options with fresh flowers. I was surprised that they had fresh flowers. They were nice, but the vases were not it, so we have to figure that out. And some candelabras for selection, and that was our day.